Hello, everyone. Welcome to Everyday Hope and Simply Grace. Breathe in hope, walk in grace. I am absolutely thrilled you're joining me for today's explainer because, well, we're diving headfirst into a topic that, let's be honest, usually makes people squirm in their seats. We are talking about money. Specifically, we're unpacking the 10% tithe. You know, that practice of giving a portion of our income away. It's a bit of a taboo topic, I know, but today we're going to peel back the layers, get past the awkwardness, and discover the real, honestly beautiful reasons why we actually do it. Let's jump right in. So here is the exact question that pops into almost everyone's head the second the topic of giving 10% comes up. Ready? It's simply, why? Lean in for a second because we really have to ask ourselves, why do we have to do this? Is it some sort of requirement? A tax? A membership fee? It's the absolute most common question. And honestly, it's completely natural to ask. But there is a massive difference between what we're asking and why we're actually asking it. See, we have to distinguish between content and intent. Think about a teenager who's just been told to go clean their incredibly messy room. What do they immediately say? Why? Now, are they really going on this deep philosophical quest for the truth about cleanliness? No way. They just don't want to clean their room. And if we're being painfully honest with ourselves here, when we ask why about giving our money, sometimes our intent is simply, we just want to keep our money in our own pockets. It's human nature, right? Okay, so let's address the absolute biggest objection head on. You'll hear people say, wait, isn't tithing just an old, outdated law from ancient times? And you know what? That is a super fair point. Yes, it absolutely originated as a strict rule in ancient times for a specific group of people. And it's completely true that we are no longer bound by that rigid, ancient legalism. We don't have some cosmic spreadsheet checking off if you paid your dues before you're allowed in the door. So you might be wondering, if the law is fulfilled and basically gone, why are we still talking about it? Well, the answer is that while the specific law might be a thing of the past, the underlying principle remains completely universally intact. A principle is basically an unchanging truth. It's the heartbeat behind the rule. The law was really just the temporary container for a timeless truth about faithfulness in our hearts. Let me give you a brilliant little illustration that makes this so easy to grasp. Imagine you're driving on this super curvy, really dangerous mountain road, and there's a sign that says speed limit 60. Now, you obey it because it's the law, and obviously you don't want a massive speeding ticket. But what if one day the government decides to just abolish that law and takes the sign down? There's no longer a law restricting your speed. Does that mean you can suddenly drive 100 miles per hour around those tight mountain curves without crashing? Of course not. The law is gone, but the principle, the actual physics of the road, remains exactly the same. If you go too fast, you will still crash. And that just brilliantly illustrates the timeless principle of giving that 10%. It's not some legalistic entry fee to avoid a spiritual ticket. It's literally the physics of a healthy, blessed life. Giving puts God first in our hearts, which keeps money off the throne. It establishes wise financial order. I mean, think of it as the ultimate budgeting tool that tells your money where to go instead of you constantly wondering where it went. And finally, it aligns our lives to invite spiritual protection and blessing. It's just a beautiful, wise order for governing our finances and our worship. But wait, I can almost hear the next major objection bubbling up right now. Okay, I get the principle, but what if I don't trust where the money goes? What if I don't trust the organization? This is a massive hurdle for so many of us. But let's look at this logically for a second. If you are trusting an organization or a community with your eternal soul, relying on them to feed you spiritual truth, shouldn't you be able to trust them with your tithe? Actually, if you truly have zero trust in a place, the bigger question might be why you're planting your roots there in the first place. So the really crucial point is how we actually go about evaluating trust. Because let's face it, no organization run by human beings is 100% perfect with zero waste. Sometimes they might buy a few too many lunches for an event, and the extra spicy food gets thrown away. Stuff like that happens. We can't demand absolute flawless perfection. Instead, we need to look for 3 specific things. First, wisdom. Are they bearing fruitful results with the resources they have? Second, discipline. Are they avoiding reckless, intentional waste? And third, generosity. Is their primary focus on blessing others and serving the community? If those 3 things are present, trust can absolutely flourish. Now, I want to slow the pace down for just a second here, because this is a deeply soulful truth. You are managing God's money. At the end of the day, you aren't accountable to a pastor, an accountant, or some organization for your giving. You will ultimately stand accountable before God for how you managed what He placed in your hands. It's an immense privilege and, yeah, a profound responsibility. When we finally realize that it's all His to begin with, our entire perspective just completely shifts. And that brings us to a major paradigm shift. Giving is not a matter of supply. It is entirely a matter of worship. We don't give because God is somehow short on cash and needs our help paying the electric bill for the building, right? And we definitely shouldn't be giving just to hit a quota so our accountant can snag us a nice tax write-off at the end of the year. No, we bring our finances to Him as a pure, intentional act of worship. It's all about honoring God with the very thing that most easily competes for our devotion. Think about this brilliant ancient analogy. When asked about taxes, the question was posed, whose image is stamped on the coin? Well, Caesar's. Therefore, give to Caesar what belongs to Caesar. But the unspoken, totally earth-shattering follow-up question is this: whose image are you made in? You are made in the image of God. Therefore, your life, your heart, and your entirety belong to Him. When we give, it's really just a tangible reflection of the fact that we have already given our whole selves to our Creator. All right, bringing us to our Life Plus moment, from theory to action. To make this truly actionable today, we need to adopt the healthy fridge philosophy. It's a super simple rule: make the right choices the easiest choices. Think about it. If you open your fridge and it's just packed with junk food, you're gonna eat junk food. It's inevitable. But if you intentionally stock it with fruits, veggies, and healthy options, eating well just becomes automatic. We have to do the exact same thing with our faithfulness and our finances. If we rely on our fluctuating emotions every single month to make the right choice, for sure we're gonna struggle. So here is your highly practical, actionable challenge. Step 1, commit to this principle for 1 full year. Don't just try it out for a month or a quarter. Give it a full 12-month cycle to really let this discipline transform your heart. Step 2, automate your giving. Set it up so it happens automatically behind the scenes. Remove that monthly friction, take out the mental gymnastics, and just make the healthy choice the easy, automatic choice. I promise you, when you do this, you will watch your financial anxiety literally melt away. I really want to warmly encourage you to take that step of trust today. Test this timeless principle and watch how it anchors your life, establishes order, and deepens your worship. Ask yourself this: if you truly trust the Creator with your eternity, isn't it time to trust Him with your today? Thank you so much for exploring this explainer with me. Everyday Hope and Simply Graced. See you next time.